to class. So this class will be on how to make an underbust corset using the pattern we made on our previous class. We'll be using our full scale corset block to achieve this underbust corset. So if you've not seen that video, please do check it out, and please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe. Now, before we start, I'll be taking off this armhole point from our chest line. I'll be taking it off. I won't be cutting it out because we'll be using this pattern to achieve other styles. So I'll just fold it in. I'll be folding it in on the 3 patterns. And for the center front, I'll be folding it in because I don't want it to be pointy, like really pointy. So I'll be folding in maybe 1.5, or I'll just fold it in. So since our patterns are ready, the next things we'll be needing to achieve this underbust corset, we'll be needing a lining. I'll be using a doll face satin for this. We'll be needing a lining. We'll be needing our bonings. I have 2 types of bonings here, which we'll be using. I'll be using a Regilene boning. This is what a Regilene boning looks like. This one you can sew on this. They call it. It can also be called a sew-on boning. So you can sew on it. And I'm using a plastic boning. This is a plastic boning. This is what the plastic boning is. So I'll be using both the Regilene and the plastic boning for this style. I'll be needing, this is the fabric I'll be using to work with. Then I'll be using this lace to design the center front part. And I'll be using an stay. This is what an stay is. Most of you, some people were asking how it is used. Now you will see how you can use it. I will show you how to use it. So this is what an stay is. You use it to pad your fabric, both your fabric and the lining. I'll be using our scissors. This is my fabric scissors and this is my boning scissors. I'll be using this to cut my bonings, and this for my fabric. And we'll be needing our tape. Now, the first thing I'll be doing is to cut out my fabric. I'll be transferring our patterns to my fabric. So we'll be transferring our patterns right now. And in case you have to iron before transferring, so I'll do that and get back to the video. So I've gone ahead to cut out our fabrics. Now this is the back and these are all my front pieces, and I have to cut with our lace to design the center front. So now that I finished cutting, I will go and iron my stay on all my fabrics. I'll be going to iron my stay on all my fabrics. So you're just going to iron it on it. I'll do that and we'll continue with the class. Okay guys, I've gone to iron my stay on it. This is our front piece and this is our back piece. Now this is it. After ironing your stay, this is what you get. This is our lining. This is what you get. So when you're ironing the both pieces on the stay on the both pieces, this is our main fabric. This is the back. After ironing our stay, this is the back. So this is the front. So you're going to iron both your fabric, your main fabric, and your lining. Now we will start joining our pieces together. I'll start with the center front. Now I want it to have a cut at the center front. So I went ahead to divide the center front, adding half inch to join it back because we'll have a boning there. So we are going to join our center front. I'll be placing the black lace on one side of the front. So we are going to join. This is the lining. I'm going to keep it aside. Whatever I do to the main fabric, I will do to the lining. So I'm going to place this net, this our lace, on it. So I'm going to join the center front on a half inch. I'll be pinning down with my pin. So whatever I'm joining, I'm going to pin them down and go to the machine to start joining them. Whatever I do, I'll be doing on my lining. I'll do the same thing. I'll pin it down, knowing that I'm going to join them down on half inch. That's the allowance we give to join. So I'm going to do that. This is for our center front. After joining, I'll open it up. And for this our two, I'll put it on both sides. So we are going to join that. I think I'll do them. I'll do that one after the other. After joining this, I'll come back and show you how to join the second piece. So I've gone ahead to iron and I've pressed open my seam. So whatever you do, whenever you join it, open your seam, press it open. So as we'll be joining our Regilin boning on the lining. Now we'll be joining our Regilin boning on our lining and the plastic boning on the main fabric. Now we're doing all that, and I also went ahead to cut out strips for our bonings. This is what we use to cover our bonings. I cut out as many as with my doll face. Now this will be for my loop. So I've gone ahead to sew both the front and the center front, the lining and the main fabric. Now the next thing I'll do, I'll take the two. Now you always label. This is the two. The second one, that's the middle part. You take out the middle part. This is our lining. So on the main fabric, I'm going to place it like this. I'm going to be placing it on both sides. Oh, yeah. I'm placing it on both sides. Now I'm going to join it on a half inch. I'll do the same thing for this other side. You can as well pin down. I want to make this tutorial as explanatory as I can, so there will not be plenty questions. So I'm going to join it on a half inch. I'll still open up the seam and press it down. I'll do the same thing for the lining. Like I said, it will be a step-by-step tutorial. I don't want to just join and bring. So let's go and do this and we'll continue. So I finished. I'm going ahead to join. This is a lining. This is our lining. the second part, and this is our main fabric. See how beautiful it is. You know that join when you cut some pieces and you join them together to become this beautiful piece. So that is what you get when you subscribe to this channel. Alright, now this is our lining part and this is our main fabric. I'll be taking out the side front. This is our side front, the third one. I'm taking it out. Taking out the main fabric and the lining, which I'll be joining the lining and the main fabric. You see, when I take it out, I'm going to be doing this. Please do not throw your patterns away. Do not throw them away, so it can guide you on which parts to join to your bodies. Now I'm trying to check where we are joining. Okay, we'll be joining this other side. So after joining this, that means we are through with our front bodies. Then we move to the back. So I'm going to turn it over and I'll go and join. I will pin it down. This is not like our main, like the normal underbust corset we see. This is a full like underbust corset. This will serve you so well. I'll pin down the main fabric. Do not rush while doing this this fashion designing thing. Do not rush whatever you're doing. Make sure you take your time. You take your time. Even when people will say, why do you take so much time to make one garment? Yes, you take so much time to make one garment so you get a perfect finish. When you finish with what you're doing with your patterns and your garments, you'll see how beautiful, and the time you took will be worth it. You don't rush to make a garment or a dress. So I'll go and join this together and the lining. I'll just send it to the lining. Then we'll still press it open. Remember, we always press our seams open and iron it very well. I'll do this, then we'll move to the back. I'm going to head to iron to press our seams open. So this is it. This is for the front. This is the lining and this is the main fabric. So now we'll be working on the back piece. We are done with our front. Now I'll be taking our center front. This is our center front and our one pin. Like the same thing we did for the back, for the front. I don't think showing this will be necessary because I think you should. By now, you can be able to join your back pieces, but I will explain. This will be our lining part. Let me explain with the main fabric. So I'm going to open. We are going to. This is our back. We're having a loop here. We're having a loop here, so we'll not be closing the back, the center back. So it will be separate. Now we'll take the two, which is here. I'll take the two, that's the middle part, and I will pin. Taking out the lining. make sure that I'm not, you can go ahead to notch the up part so you will not mistake it for the down part. Now I want to look for the up part. Yeah, this is my up. So I'm going to open it. I'll open it. So we are going to join on 1/2 inch. I'll pin it down. I'm doing the same thing for this other side. I'll pin it down. Which I've done, yeah. So I've pinned it down. We'll take the side back. And I'm taking out the lining part. Taking out the lining part. I'll open it up. So we are going to join on a 1/2 inch also. So I'll do the same thing for our lining, and I'll iron them. I'll press the seams open, then before we continue with the class, I'll do the same thing and bring it back. I've gone to sew, I've finished sewing it, and I've pressed the seams open for both our main fabric and our lining. So now I can keep these patterns aside and we'll work on our bonings. That is regular boning, the sew-on boning. So this is our front, this is our back. The lining. And I went ahead to press open the seams for all of them. Now I will come in with our bonings. I will be using our regular boning. I will keep the plastic boning aside. I'm going to keep this aside. I will start working on our bonings. Now we'll be sewing our regular boning. While sewing your boning, this is how to place your boning. You see it has a curve coming downwards. So you're going to sew it on the lining, the back side of our lining. I'll be coming down by 1/2 inch, 0.5. I'll be coming down by 0.5, and I'll sew all the way to and stop 0.5 before our hem line. So I'm going to sew on it. You see the edge where you're going to sew. I'll be sewing on the edge. I'll do that for all our seam lines. I'll do it for all our seam lines for both front and the back. That's for only our lining. For both front and the back. For only our lining. Now for our main fabric, we'll be using plastic boning to create, we'll be using this doll face satin to create a channel for our elastic boning. So but before that, you will check if the length you have is okay for you, or if it's too long, or you want to have a really box shape, you can curve it to your choice. You can curve it to your choice in a way anyhow you want it. So you just put it on your body and know what to do. Maybe you reduce the back. I'll be reducing the back going up by 3 inches, and I'll bring it back like the side. I'll go up by 3 inches. I'll be coming up by 3 inches. So I'll be coming up by 3 inches on both sides of our front for both our lining and our main fabric. So I'll come up by 3 inches and I'll slant it to this side so it will have this back shape. So I will cut that out, and I'll do the same thing or I can place it on it. I will do that. So I'll cut that out. Now this is what we have. This is the shape we have now. So make sure the back side will match with the front side. You can go ahead if you want to reduce this part, you can do that. Even here you can do that. If you want to, if you want to reduce it, you can reduce this part. But for now, I won't be doing anything for now. I will just go and sew our Regilene boning on the same lines for the lining, for only our lining. Like I said, this is what you will do, because I might do mine off camera. This is what you will do. Now you check for the side of your fabric. Now this is our side, this is the center back. You're going to place the side to the side of our front, because we've already reduced the side of our front by 3 inches. So you do the same thing for this other side, for the back. So this is our front, this is our side. So I'm going to do that. I'll do that for the back. You can pin it down so it won't shake. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I joined it together. So I'm going to slant out, cut out that place that has slants. The place will just, so it will be equal with our front side. I'm pinning it down so I won't make any mistake. I'll pin it down. So I'm going to trace this out. I'll do the same thing for this other side. Then we'll go and sew on our regime boning. Now this is how you can fix your regime boning. Like I said, you should face this way. The curve should come down. Don't face it up like this. You should come down, and you are coming down by 0.05. I'm putting it on our line. On the line we stitched, so I'm pushing it in, and now we are sewing on this white edge, this edge. I'll be doing that. So I'll be sewing all the way down to 1/2 inch before our hem line. I'll be stopping here. Now I can cut this out. So I'll be sewing on this other side. The other side of the boning. Now I've sewn one side, I'm sewing on this other side. Even if your thread cut, you can still start from there. Just stitch and continue. So after sewing, this is what it looks like at the back. I'll just cut out my thread and show you what it looks like. So this is what at the front, this is it. Now at the back, this is what you get at the back. You get your 2 lines at the back. I'll finish up and we'll continue. So I'm going ahead to finish sewing our boning, our regime boning on our lining. Now look at the effect it's giving to my lining. Look at the effect, it's not laying flat. So now you're going to use your iron to iron it to lay flat. You have to go and iron it. So it will straighten up. So I'll be going to the ironing table to iron. So it lays flat. This is the back. So for the back, I went ahead to add 2 extra bonings. Now the bonings have different sizes. Now this is a 0.5 inch boning. This is the bigger one. This is 0.5 inch. This should be 0.4. 0.4, 0.3. So I had to use two different types. So I added two extra bonings to our center back, one half inch away from our center back, and from there I took another half inch away and placed another one. Now our loop is going to sit on the half inch we added. So I want to give it a structure that will make it to sit well on my center back after fixing my loop. Now I'll go ahead to iron and I'll show you what the outcome will look like. Okay, I've gone to iron. Now this is what it has, is now laying flat. This is the other one. They are now laying flat. So I'll keep it aside. Now for the front, I'll be reducing the length of this armhole. This is the armhole point, so I'll be reducing it. I'll reduce the lining. You reduce it to any length you want. I'll do the same for this other side. I just reduced it to, I didn't check the measurement, I just cut out. So this is the lining, the front part of our lining. After ironing it, is now laying flat. Now, moving on to our main fabric. I went ahead to cut out, this is 2 inches, but I think I will reduce it because our plastic boning is not big. This is like 0.5 cm. This is 0.5 cm. So I will reduce this to 1 inch. I'm going to reduce it to 1 inch so I can create a channel for our boning. Okay. So I'm going to do this off camera. So I've gone ahead to divide it by 1 inch. So I'm going to use it to create a channel, or better still, a bias to pass our boning inside. So I'll be creating that channel for all our lines, our joining. You can create as many as you want, but I will just create on the lines for both fronts and for the back. I'll do that, then we'll continue. So I've gone ahead to create our boning lines. I have to just create on the places where we'll have our joinings, so I did the same thing for the back. Now I'll go ahead to pass our bonings on our casings. But before that, I'll have to file to make it to the mouth to be smooth. I use my nail file to do this. So I'm going to be passing it in. It will stop ½ inch away and ½ inch away. So So I'll be cutting it out. So you can measure ½ inch here and to this place, so you can cut instead of doing what I just did. So I'll fix it inside of this one. Just forget to file. I'm going to finish this up, then we'll continue. But after doing this, this will be for our loop. So this will be for our loopholes. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn to the wrong side. Now, and I'll be sewing here. Now this is like 2 inches, but I won't be needing all the 2 inches. So I'm going to turn it to the wrong side, and I'm going to sew at the edge, come out by 0.5. So from there, you will sew down to 0.03, all the way down. Then I'll show you how to turn our loop with using needle and thread. We are going to turn it out using needle and thread to the right side. So you're going to sew very close. It will be like a shovel mouth, like a funnel mouth. So you're going to sew like 0.05 at the edge, and you'll be coming down. While coming down, you're coming down by 0.03 all the way to the M line. I'm going to do this for a longer piece. Like I still have more piece. Yeah, this will be okay. Or I can do that for 2 and turn over. I'll do the same thing. Now this will be for our loop. I'm going to do the same thing for the fabric. Then we'll continue. Now I've gone ahead to sew my loops. So this will be my loophole, and this will be my loop that I used to tie. Now, you see what I did? I don't know if you can see this very well properly. So I'm going to turn this over I'll be using thread and needle to turn it over to the right side. So I'm using thread and needle to turn it over to the right side. So I'll just tie it countless times. I'm going to tie it like this place has to be thick for it to pass through. So you see how thick it is. Now I'll be using my thread and needle to turn it over to the right side. I'll be putting it inside this place. I'll sew this other part. Now I'll be using the down of the needle. I'll just pass it all the way to the down side. But before then, I'm going to trim out some of the excess we have. Not all, just small. I'm not trimming out everything. The remaining one will make it to be thick inside. So I'll just cut out, making sure that I have some left. Now that I've finished cutting it out, I still have some excess that will go inside. So I'll continue with my turning. I'm trying to bring out the needle. just follow what I'm doing. In case you don't understand, just follow what I am doing. To help you to turn out your loops. So I've gotten to the ending part. I'm just going to bring the needle out. So I'm going back to I'm going to hold this, going back to the beginning, and I'll start smoothing this place so it can pass. And while dragging this other side, I'm dragging this and I'm trying to bring in this other part inside. It will be going inside. This thing is time consuming, but patience, yeah. It's what I'm doing. It is going inside a little by little. It's going inside. It's going inside while I keep smoothing this area for it to go in. I'm trying to the more I drag here, the more this other part comes down. So I'm bringing them down and passing them. You'll be doing this until you get to the ending part. I'll keep doing it till I get to the ending part. I think we are here. This is where we are right now. I'll do that. So I've gone far. This is where I think I'm here. So I'm here, left with half of it, I think almost half. So I'm still trying to drag it out. I'll continue and I'll finish up with this and with this one. Then we'll continue. So this is this. We are almost there, and here we go. And yeah, this is mine. I'm through. So I'm going to cut out this. So I'm through. I'll go over to this other one. So I'm going ahead to turn this other loop to create our loopholes, and I went ahead to cut them by 1.5 inches. I have to cut them 1.5 inches. I don't want it to be too long, but you can do 2 inches, but I prefer 1.5. So I went ahead to cut 1.5 each. I'll be using them to turn our back, and also went ahead to iron our fabric, the one we added boning, the plastic boning. Now I'll be turning this over I'm going to use this to turn it, so by the time we open it, it will be inside. So I'll be placing the back I'm placing the 9-in on it. I'll do the same thing for this other side. make sure you note your center back. Make sure you note the one that is your center back. Don't go and add it to your side. Now be adding it to our center back. We are going to be turning our closing here. The upper part, we'll close it. When we get to 1/2 inch, we'll start fixing our loop. Now what you will do is to come down from here. You come down by 1/2 inch, 0.5. So I'll be marking from that 1/2 inch, I'll be marking 0.75 down. I was supposed to use 1 inch, but I think 1 inch is long, so I'll be using 0.75 down. I have to create more loops so it will go. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So what I will do is I'll bring it down to that 0.5, and I'm going to be turning this loop. I won't be keeping it straight. I'm going to turn it like this and place it on top of the second line. Now I'll pick another loop and I'll place it on top of the second one we just placed and turn it again to the next one. So I'll be running it like that for both the back. After doing that, I'll place this on top. I'll be sewing 1/2 inch all the way and 1/2 inch. I'll be coming down by 1/2 inch. So by the time I turn it over, it will be inside. I'll do that and before we continue. Now after joining my loop, I went ahead to sew from the side to the top, all the way from the top. I sew down, connecting back to where I have my loops, and I close the down. Now go ahead to turn it over. This is how it is after joining our loops. If your loop does not sit like this, that means you're not getting it right. See what I do? When you turn, the turning will show. This is a perfect way to fix your loop. So I'll go and iron it. I'll go and iron it so it will sleep. I've ironed this one. I've ironed this. So I'll iron this other one so it will sit. After ironing, I'll go ahead to join the front lining to the front. So I'm going to join from here 1/2 inch all the way round the bust to the center front. I'll come down to this other side of the bust and we'll go all the way on a 1/2 inch. I'm going ahead to sew. Now I didn't join the side. I didn't sew the side because of our allowance. We have to remove our allowance on both sides. I only sewed the upper part, so I will turn it over. Then we'll go and iron before we continue with joining the sides. I'm using my scissors to bring out everything. So now we've not relaxed. I have to go to the ironing table to iron. Now you're going to notch round the bust, the under bust. You're going to notch round so it can relax after ironing. And this is the front. After ironing, it's now sitting properly. Now the next thing we'll do is to join our sides. That is what we'll be doing now, is to join our sides. So I'll be taking the both sides to join to the front. We are almost done, almost. So I'll be joining this and this. I'll join the side. If I'm joining, this is what I will do. I will join fabric to fabric, then we will turn over and join the lining. Fabric to fabric, lining to lining. That's what we'll do. We'll join the sides. Then here, we might be using a bias tape to cover it up for the down side. But if there's any other way, I'll check if there's any other way to turn it out. We'll do that. So let's join. We'll be joining the sides first. We'll join the sides first. Like I said, fabric to fabric. Now you're going to hold the sides together. Make sure it's matching and you pin it down. After that, you turn it over and join the lining. That way you will not have any seam line. Now we'll be using the allowance we added to do this. We added 1.5 as our side allowance. We are supposed to be taking off all the 1.5. If you want it to really snatch, you're taking out all the 1.5 inches we added on both sides, 1.5, 1.5. You take them out. If you want it to really snatch. After removing my side allowance of 1.5, I removed extra 2 inches on the sides, like 1 inch from this other side, 1 inch from this other side. I did that for both the lining and the fabric. So because when I removed my side allowance, it didn't fit very well. It was not tight. I wanted it to be very snatched. So I had to minus another 1 inch on both sides. So that was how I was able to get a very, very fitted underbust corset to be snatched. Now another thing is that we removed 3 inches from our back measurement. Remove 3 inches. So we'll still be working with that. We'll join the sides and continue. So I've gone ahead to join the sides on our main fabric. Also on our lining. And I also close the down. Now to turn it over, you could open up maybe the lining. You could open up the lining, maybe one of the lining, and turn it from there. Or not closing the downside. Or you not closing the downside and turn it over, then use your bias to close that downside. Now I don't want that. I want to open up one of the sides, maybe on the lining. Then I'll teach you what we call invisible tacking with our thread and needle to close it up when we turn it to the front. So I've gone ahead to turn it over and pressed it. This is the back. I'm going ahead to press it in the front. This is the front. And this is the inside. I didn't want to, like I said, if I don't want to use the bias to start running down, I just want to do everything invisible. So you don't have any joining outside. Now I had to open this place to pass out to the front, to have access to the front. Now I have to tack it back. Like I said, I will show you how to achieve an invisible tacking with using your needle and thread. I've passed my thread inside my needle. I only tied it small, so it won't be outside, it won't show. So this place that I've opened, we'll be tacking it inside. So you're going to follow the exact line of that, your stitch line. You're going to follow that stitch line to tack the both of them together. Now they are slipping inside. So we're going to follow this line to tack it inside so that way your stitch will not show. Nothing will show to you. Will not even know that there was any this thing there before. So what you do is take your needle like I'm holding. If you have the smaller needle, better. This one is big, so if you have the smaller one, it will be better. It will serve you well. Now I'm going to be passing my needle inside that stitch line. In a way that it will not be too obvious. It won't be too obvious. When I pass on one side, I'll pass on the other side. I'll do this till I get to the down part. Like I said before, this way you will not know that there was any tag there. You will think that it was sewn. It's your machine. As long as you're getting the line, you're following your stitch line. So I'll do this till I get to the down part. So instead of using estate to do the front and to do the outside, I don't know, I love to finish my dress very neat. Every dress I make, I like to finish it very neat. I don't like to see seam lines, because some people, they will say that what if you add weight, what if you want to shaping it. You can shaping it. You just do that one side, turn it over and shaping, and turn it back and do your invisible tacking. Simple. You must not add plenty allowance and they will all be outside. You can add any allowance you want and they can be inside. Now I went ahead to remove extra 2 inches from my bodice. Now it's as if I've taken out 5 inches from my bodice. 4 inches from my body. I took out 1 inch all the way on the 2 sides after taking out 1.5, because I wanted it to really hold me, like to really snatch on my waist. So if you want that, you can do 4 inches. You can remove 4 inches. Some people go ahead to remove up to 6 inches from their bodies, from their measurements while drafting their pattern. So it can be really, most of these snatch dresses we see, that's what they do. They move up to 6, up to 5 inches. So that way it will really be snatched. But when you're taking out up to 6 inches, just know that you can't move anyhow. Those ones, they are just for photo shoot. If you want to go for photo shoot, you can do those dresses and wear them. They are not our regular everyday wear. I hope this class is really worth it. See the place I've tagged. You will not know that there was any tag there. This upper part I've tagged it from here. You will not know. They are all inside. You will not know. So we keep doing this till the down part, and yeah, we'll be done with our underbust corset. I'll still drop a tutorial on how to get the basic block and the short underbust corset, like the short one. That would be for beginners. I'll drop a video on that and how to draft a basic corset block. Now this is not basic. The one we drew, that one is not basic. I'm going to drop a basic corset block for our beginners in corsets. I'll finish this up and we'll continue. So when you get to the last part, while stitching, just pass your thread like this. Pass your needle inside your thread and drag it out. You can do that like 2 or 3 times. See what I did? Let me do it again. Now according to this last side, you pass your thread to wherever you're sewing. You can decide to pass in this other side. So I'm passing here. So I'm going to pass my needle inside the thread. So this is like tying it, you're tying it. I'll do that one more time. And yeah, I can now cut out my thread. Very close. Now I'll press it. I'll go and press it with my iron. Alright, I finished tacking it and ironing. This is our line. So we are basically done with this corset. I'm going to pass my loop and I'll try it on. Let me try it on so we'll see. So guys, thank you for watching. If you've stayed till the end of this class, thank you and congratulations, because you've learned a lot in this class. Thank you so much guys, and please subscribe, please share for others to see. Thank you. Share the good news. I love you all. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the advice. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for staying tuned and giving me the opportunity to teach you. Okay guys, this is the outcome, our final outcome of our underbust corset. See the fitting. The fitting is mad. It's so comfortable. Like, the fitting is mad. It's not like the normal one we get. This is nice. I hope you can see the shape I'm having. Comfortable. You can dance with it. You can eat with it. You can do anything with it. So guys, thank you for watching. I want to see your own underbust corset. And please tag me while posting on Instagram. Love you guys. See you in our next class. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. Thank you guys. I love you for staying till the end of this class. Bye.